viewers, in fact, we are staying with these images and breaking updates that we're picking up on the sidelines of the G7 summit. Once again, we're looking at Rishi Sunak now, who is welcoming the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Those visuals are on your screens right now to understand what really transpired, because we had looked at those visuals of the US President Joe Biden also walking up to the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and then not just shaking his hand, but also giving him a hug. And now, of course, we are looking at similar images with the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who was welcoming the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Hiroshima. This is, of course, on the sidelines of the bilateral talks that are all underway in the G7 summit. Multiple agendas to be discussed in these bilateral meetings that are underway right now. But of course, the significance of the optics that we are getting from Hiroshima is also important to understand, because on one side of your screens, we're looking at how the US President Joe Biden had come and met with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And now, of course, similar images of the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak also sharing those visuals of the Prime Minister hugging him. And to understand the significance of this, let me also welcome once again our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, on the broadcast. Abhishek, we're looking at these images side by side. You know, just a few minutes ago, we were speaking about the US President Joe Biden walking up to the Indian Prime Minister, the significance of the fact that he's shaking his hand, he was giving him a hug. And now, side by side, we're looking at the similar images of the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak now giving the Indian Prime Minister, a hug as well. Speak to us a little bit about the significance of these optics that we're getting from Hiroshima, Abhishek.
Modi's style has a new name, which is called diplomacy, and we are seeing full-frame pictures of Prime Minister Modi being hugged by Joe Biden, being hugged by Rishi Sunak, and you can expect the same pictures would come in when Emmanuel Macron meets Prime Minister Modi. The French, obviously, are the most open about expressing their joy with hugs, and so I think there's broader acceptability of Prime Minister's style of going ahead and hugging world leaders. This is something which was not there before Narendra Modi, I can tell you. And you call it diplomacy or Modi-style diplomacy. But then this brings in a very personal element, a personal chemistry between leaders, and that really helps them engage, I think, with more earnestness, with more honesty, and you open up a little more once those barriers are broken psychologically, so to say. So these are important pictures underscoring Narendra Modi's style of diplomacy and India's acceptability as a corollary to each other, and as a complement to each other, rather, not corollary. And I think we are going to see these pictures coming out all through today and tomorrow also. It's already sort of getting the evening in Hiroshima, and after this engagement, this is the second open session in which Prime Minister is going to speak or make a contribution on, and 3 open sessions in which he has been invited to speak. You can see in the pictures where President Joe Biden has come and met Prime Minister Modi. Emmanuel Macron gets up and goes on the other side. He would, of course, be meeting Prime Minister in a while from now in a bilateral format, one-on-one, the statements we have been getting. These are important moments when you sort of do an appraisal of the bilateral relationship, you do an appraisal on geopolitics and individual contributions of the countries and nations, and how to take things forward, how to coordinate, cooperate, collaborate, and make sure that the top levels of governments around the world and of the like-minded nations, friendly nations are aligned. The interests are aligned, and whatever differences are, they are sort of sorted out. So I think these are important pictures of Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the G7 in Hiroshima. And these pictures, as I said, have been coming in since morning and are going to continue to come for tomorrow as well.
Well, absolutely, Abhishek. Imported images, as you're pointing out for us and helping us understand what it really means, globally speaking as well. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast and sharing that with us as we viewers continue to get you these images, these really significant images coming to light from Hiroshima on the sidelines of the G7 summit.